Welcome to the Whitetail Woods. Your pickup truck comes with brakes. Your hunting rifle comes with a safety. And your tree stand comes with a full body harness. The full body harness is a part of your tree stand. Wear it as directed every time you hunt from a tree stand. And have a safe hunt.
This version of Safe Tree Stand Hunting Strategies is produced by the National Bowhunter Education Foundation. Understand that when hunting from a tree stand, falls can occur at any time after leaving the ground and may cause serious injury or death. This production will demonstrate the safe use of tree stands and associated accessories. The instructions in this production meet ASTM 2123 instruction standards for tree stands. The NBEF and TMA advise that you wear and use tree stand equipment manufactured to ASTM industry standards. There are industry standards for most tree stand related equipment, including tree stands and safety harnesses. Testing for standard compliance is conducted by independent engineers. Full body harnesses also must pass testing requirements. Always wear a full body harness at all times after leaving the ground. You must also stay connected to the tree at all times when using a hang-on or climber style stand. Failure to do so may result in serious injury or death. Single strap safety belts and chest harnesses should never be used and should be discarded. If you are not wearing a full body harness properly attached to the tree to protect you from a fall, do not leave the ground. Practice at ground level. Failure to do so may result in serious injury or death. Practice with your full body harness, tree belt, lineman's belt, and with a responsible adult present prior to hunting. Read the provided written instructions and keep them for future reference. Watch the provided video. Then re-watch this production at least yearly for hands-on demonstrations of the safe use of various types of tree stands, climbing aids, and full body harnesses. Read and follow the guidelines and warnings in the instructions and use all safety devices provided by the manufacturer with the tree stand, including instructions concerning adjusting the full body harness and the harness's expiration date. Contact the manufacturer if you have any questions. Failure to do so could result in injury or death. Pay special attention to be sure to follow weight restrictions of your tree stand and harness as well as the assembly instructions. Taking into account your weight and the weight of your equipment you will use on a hunt, never exceed the total weight limit of the tree stand. In review, here are the components of a full body harness. Tether and tree belt, lineman's belt, suspension relief belt. Some manufacturers offer vest harnesses that incorporate a full body harness into the vest. The tether of a full body harness is found at the back of the harness and originates between your shoulders. When used, the tether connects to a belt connection on the tree. This is known as a tree belt. The connection between the tether and the tree belt attaches you and your harness to the tree. Never allow the tether strap to get under your chin or around your neck. A full body harness might also be attached during climbing to a lineman style belt. A lineman style belt that attaches to the harness on either side of your waist. Before you begin to climb, this belt passes around the tree and connects attachment points on the hips of the harness. A lineman style belt will reduce fatigue and offer stability to the user while he or she performs a task. It is important for you to experience the stresses and pressures involved when you hang suspended from a full body harness. Conduct this training at ground level with another responsible adult present. Following the proper procedure after a tethered fall may save your life. The first thing to remember is don't panic, stay calm. Signal for help, and then execute your suspension relief plan. The failure to follow instructions and properly attach the full body harness to the tree belt by allowing excess slack in the tether, or the failure to properly and tightly secure the tree belt to the tree could result in the inability to reboard the platform, leaving you suspended from the tree in your full body harness. This situation of hanging suspended and motionless from a full-body harness may lead to unconsciousness in as little as 5 minutes, followed eventually by death. Always keep a whistle, cell phone, two-way radios, or personal locator beacon on your person so that you can signal for help. Beginning in 2009, safety harnesses come packaged with a suspension relief device. Practice using it as instructed at ground level and keep it accessible and on your person when above ground level. Failure to follow harness instructions could result in not being able to return to the stand and being suspended in a harness after a fall. If you fall from the platform and are hanging suspended in your full body harness, you must reboard the tree stand platform immediately. Hanging motionless in a full body harness can lead to suspension trauma, which relates to blood pooling in the legs, which can be fatal. If you are unable to reboard the tree stand, and while you are awaiting rescue, techniques exist to help extend consciousness. These techniques include procedures to encourage the pooled blood in your legs to return to your heart. The conscious survival time may be extended if the subject keeps moving his legs constantly and attempts to get his legs into a horizontal position, or as high as possible to allow blood flow to return to his heart. Consciousness may be extended by pushing down vigorously with the legs to force blood out of the legs. You can do this by putting your feet against the tree and flexing your legs constantly. Another method of gaining suspension relief if you are unable to gain access to the stand platform is to create a step to stand on with a strap or a rope. This procedure requires that you attach a suspension relief strap or rope at either side of the waist of your full body harness. These attachment points can be the lineman's belt connectors on the waist of your harness. In some cases, a lineman's belt may work. First, attach one side of the strap to one hip and let it loop down to just below knee level. Attach the other end of the device at the other hip. Step onto the loop and stand up. This procedure can reduce the constricting pressure caused by the leg straps, allowing circulation through the legs and reduce your exposure to suspension trauma. If your hunting location is unknown and communication efforts are unsuccessful, you must have a plan in place for self-recovery or escape. Hunters with varying degrees of physical fitness may require different plans to recover from or escape the effects of suspension trauma. Have a personal plan and practice it at ground level with a responsible adult present. No one plan may work in every circumstance. Only you can determine the best plan for your hunting situation. Have your recovery or escape plan in place before leaving the ground. Have a suspension relief plan. Have a rescue, relief, and recovery plan, 3 Rs, in place before leaving the ground. If a fall occurs while wearing a full body harness, don't panic. Remain calm. There is time to make a correct decision on a course of action. Think, then implement your plan. Rescue, relief, recovery. Several optional products and systems are available that offer self-recovery or self-extraction from a fall when suspended in a full-body harness. One of these products and systems can be considered for use as an additional safety precaution against prolonged suspension and suspension trauma. An aftermarket device called a tree stand safety rope may be used for security while ascending or descending a ladder or hang-on style tree stand. Here's how they work. Safety rope or line with prusik knot. The rope goes around the tree at or above head level while you are standing on the tree stand platform and extends to a point at the base of the tree. If you should fall, the knot will tighten around the rope and keep you from falling to the ground. A metal ring or carabiner connects your full body harness tether to the prusik knot connection point on the safety rope. When climbing, attach to the safety rope, then slide the connection point as you climb. A locking prusik knot or connection slides up or down with you as you move. Follow the manufacturer's instructions. Stay on the ground and do not hunt from a tree stand if you do not have the ability to recover from a suspended position. Tree stands fall into 3 basic types: hang-on tree stands, ladder tree stands, climber tree stands, Each has its own safety requirements. Prior to using any tree stand or full-body harness, you must read and understand the instructions and warnings provided by the manufacturer. Hang-on style tree stands and climbing aids. A hang-on style tree stand requires that you use a climbing aid. Some climbing aids can be transported in segments and then assembled into a single climbing system. Some designs consist of single independent segments that work in unison to allow a hunter to climb a tree. Connect your lineman style belt to the tree at ground level and slide it up with you as you climb. The lineman's belt will be an additional contact point and can offer stability while completing a task. Sectional ladders and steps should be placed on a tree so that each step is no more than 18 inches apart. Check the connection between each stick ladder section every time you use and before leaving the ground. If they are separating, do not use. Always use a full body harness with a lineman style belt for stability when installing, using and removing climbing aids and hang-on style tree stands. Accidents may occur if the hunter is unattached during boarding or unboarding the hang-on style tree stand. You must stay continually attached to the tree with your full body harness. Here is a procedure to stay continually attached. The double attachment method. Practice this method at ground level. While using the lineman's belt for stability, attach your tree belt and tether above the tree stand. Now you are double attached. Detach your lineman style belt. You are still attached with the tether and tree belt. Climb until your feet are above the stand platform. The full body harness must be attached to the tree before stepping down to the tree stand. Practice with your hang-on stand at ground level before installing it at hunting heights. Become familiar with adjustments and tightening of the chains, straps, or cables that attach your stand to the tree. Be sure that all contact points are in contact with the tree before stepping onto the stand. Install the stand below the top of your climbing aid. Note that the climbing aid must extend above the platform to allow the user to climb above the platform. Use the climbing aid as a handhold and then step down onto the platform. Never step up to board it. The full body harness must be attached to the tree before stepping down onto the hang-on style tree stand platform. Step down onto the center of the platform and immediately slide your tree belt and tether to at or above head level. Secure the attachment to the tree. Then sit down on the seat. Readjust the tether and tree belt so there is no slack in the tether when you are in a seated position. This positioning of the tree belt is critical to the proper functioning of the full body harness and must not be overlooked. Now reverse the boarding procedure and practice leaving the platform and climbing down while remaining continually attached to the tree with your tether, tree belt, or lineman style belt. Never leave any tree stand installed on a tree for more than 2 weeks. Weather, animals, and tree growth can cause damage or stress attachments and buckles, making the stand unsafe. Many accidents occur while installing or taking down a tree stand, or when getting into or out of a tree stand. It is critical that you be continually attached to the tree with your full body harness or lineman's belt during these times as well as throughout your hunt. Ladder style tree stands. Once erected, a ladder style tree stand is relatively easy to climb and resembles a fixed ladder. This class of tree stand is also the heaviest to transport and requires at least 3 people to safely erect or take down. While most ladder stands accommodate 1 hunter, some models are made for 2 hunters and may require more than 3 people to erect. Follow the manufacturer's instructions. First, assemble the tree stand and select a tree. Although there may be some variations, most ladder stands are installed as follows. Connect the ladder sections and secure the retainer pins or clips. Check that these are in place before each use. If they are missing, don't use the stand. Position the base of the ladder at a distance from the tree as described in the manufacturer's instructions. Always select a firm, level, and even surface. An irregular surface or a rocky surface may cause the base to shift or tilt as you climb. place the base in this cleared site and have one adult hold the bottom section of the ladder in place while the other two adults lift the stand into a vertical position, and then slowly guide it to the tree. Now seat the base of the ladder into the soil by applying weight on the bottom rung before climbing on the ladder. Next, pass the cross straps behind the tree and connect them to the ladder and tighten as directed. The cross straps will, when installed correctly, pull the top of the stand against the tree. Many manufacturers utilize a stabilizing brace. Once your stand is resting against the tree and settled into the ground, install the stabilizing brace. Always install the stabilizing brace and cross straps before climbing. Next, two persons hold the ladder and support it as the third person, while wearing a full-body harness, climbs slowly, leaning forward. Using the 3-point climbing method, 3-point climbing requires that either 2 feet or 1 hand, or 2 hands and 1 foot, be in contact with the ladder at all times. The top person should attach his or her full-body harness to the tree with the tree belt before securing the ladder's stand's top attachment strap, and before stepping onto the platform. Keep harness tether away from your neck. Use 3 persons when taking down a ladder-style tree stand and reverse the steps, being especially cautious when disconnecting the top attachment strap. Most ladder accidents occur when putting up or taking down this type of stand. Maintain 3 points of connection with the ladder at all times while ascending and descending. When using a tripod-style stand, follow the manufacturer's instructions. Climb slowly using the 3-point climbing method. Climber-style tree stands. Climber-style tree stands are popular because they install in minutes and don't require a separate climbing system. The user must use both a foot platform and a hand climber or climbing aid while climbing or descending. The back bar, or cable, is the adjustable component of the climbing stand which engages the tree to provide support. The grip is released when you lift the outer edge of the top hand climber portion or foot platform section. This allows you to reposition the stand and climb up or down. Many of the accidents that are attributed to this type of tree stand are a result of the user failing to connect the top and bottom sections of the stand with the provided connecting tether, or adjusting the platform angle above ground level. With climber tree stands, the hand or seat climber and foot platform grip the tree when your weight is applied downward. Removal of weight from either releases that segment, allowing the platforms to move. Remember to maintain your weight steadily upon any weight-bearing platforms at all times until you are ready to move that platform. Failure to do so may allow the top hand climber or foot platform to move, causing you to lose your balance and fall. Remember to always ensure your full-body harness, attachment tether, and tree belt is securely attached to the tree from the time you leave the ground until the time you return to the ground. The outer edge of the stand must be higher than the front of the stand where it contacts the tree. As you climb, a tree will become smaller in diameter, causing the angle of the platform to change, and the outer edge of the platform to lower in relation to the edge closer to the tree. To ensure that the platform is flat at hunting height, the platform must tilt toward the tree trunk at ground level. Follow manufacturer's instructions for compensating for tree diameter taper as you ascend the tree. When you reach your hunting height, the platform should be either level or tilted slightly toward the tree. Never hunt from a platform in which the outer edge is lower than the edge closest to the tree. This is unsafe, and you must immediately return to ground level and adjust the attachment so that the platform angle is acceptable. Do not attempt to adjust the angle while above ground level unless directed to do so by the manufacturer. Adjustments to the harness attachment to the tree with the tree belt should be frequent and coordinated with the tree stand's movement to maintain the least amount of slack in the tether that will allow for climbing. Never take big steps when using a climber. Rather, take small, comfortable, controlled steps and climb no more than 12 inches at a time. Become familiar with foot placement, attachments, and adjustments before leaving the ground. Learn how to adjust and use the seat, armrests, or gun rests, and how to secure the sections to the tree once at hunting height per the manufacturer's instructions. This class of tree stand requires considerable ground level practice before you take it on a hunt. Never hunt from a tree stand if you are feeling ill, not well rested, nauseous, or dizzy, or if you have a prior medical condition that may cause a problem such as a heart, joint, or spinal condition that may increase your risk. Always remain in the relative center of the stand platform. Never stand on a seat or rely on the seat for stability. Never rely on limbs for support. These can break, leading to a fall. Inspect your tree stand and all safety devices before each hunt. Never store a tree stand outdoors when not in use. Both written and video instructions should be kept in a safe place and reviewed at least annually. It is the responsibility of the tree stand owner to furnish the complete instructions to any person who borrows or purchases the tree stand. Never modify your stand in any way by making unauthorized repairs, replacing parts, or altering, adding, or attaching anything to it, unless explicitly authorized in writing by the manufacturer. Never leave your tree stand attached to a tree for more than 2 weeks at a time. Trees grow, and the diameter of trees increase. This growth can add tremendous stress to an attachment strap or chain. Adding your weight may cause the stand attachment to fail. When raising or lowering a firearm, make sure it's unloaded, actions open, safety on, and muzzle loaders uncapped or unprimed. Never attach the pull-up strap to the trigger guard or near the trigger. Attach the pull-up strap so that the muzzle is pointed level or down. Only pull up gear after being secure in your tree stand. Many hunting accidents occur in dawn and dusk lighting conditions. Always use a flashlight when entering or leaving the woods. This light will identify you as a hunter, and you will reduce the risk of being mistaken for game. Become familiar with operating your tree stand in low light conditions. Understand that operating a tree stand in the dark may increase your risk. Always carry a signaling device with you such as a whistle, a cell phone, personal locator beacon, or two-way radios. Carry this device on your person, such as in a zippered pocket, not in an inaccessible pack. Practice to make sure you can reach it while suspended from your harness. Only pull up or lower gear after you are safely secured in your tree stand. Always let someone know the location of your tree stand, where you will be hunting, and when you plan to return. If you are overdue, someone will know where to look for you. The best plan is to hunt with a buddy and check in with one another often. Never use a tree stand during poor weather conditions, such as during rain or inclement weather. Never hunt from an elevated stand during high winds or when there is lightning in the area. Never hunt from a tree stand during icy or frosty conditions. Avoid tree stands on these days when the weather makes tree stand hunting dangerous. Avoid trees that are wet, icy, or have slippery, extremely hard, or loose scaly bark. End your hunt and return to the ground if inclement conditions arise. Never hunt from an elevated tree stand after consuming any drugs, alcohol, or prescription medication. Many over-the-counter meds cause drowsiness, which can contribute to poor judgment or a fall. If you're sleepy, don't hunt from a tree stand. We recommend you wear your full-body harness in such a way that you can inspect the buckles. Always select a straight, healthy, and living tree that matches the diameter and description suggested by the manufacturer of your tree stand. Trees to avoid include dead trees, trees with loose or scaly bark, and leaning trees. And never climb or attach a tree stand to a telephone or power pole. Inspect the tree stand and all safety devices each time before use. Look for damage that may be the result of sharp metal, broadheads, animals, or just excessive wear. Inspect stitching for wear. Examine carabiners and be sure that they are in good working order. Keep track of the age of your harness. Find the expiration date sewn into your harness and ensure that it is not expired. If your harness is expired or outdated, discard it and purchase a new harness. Follow the manufacturer's directions for the procedure for adjusting the stand to fit a given diameter tree. The manufacturer will describe a minimum and maximum tree diameter. Never jump or bounce on a tree stand to seat it to the tree. Practice installing, adjusting, and using your tree stand at ground level prior to using it at elevated positions. Use a pull-up rope to raise or lower your stand, bow, gun, or other equipment. Never climb with a bow or firearm on your back or in your hand. Accidents may occur while using any class of tree stand. Most accidents are attributed to hunters not wearing and using a full body harness as directed. It is important that you follow all written and video instructions and exercise common sense to reduce your risk.
So there you have it. Following safe tree stand hunting strategies will reduce your risk. Wear and properly use your full body harness as directed by the manufacturer. Have a safe hunt.